Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a tier list of the Life is Strange Before the Storm characters. In case you missed it, I recently finished a playthrough of Life is Strange Before the Storm on my channel, so I'll put a link to that in the corner of the video. It took me about 35 years to finish it, but I finally did it, so I thought it would be a good idea to do a tier list of the characters now that they are kind of fresh in my mind from my playthrough. So, as always, because I'm quirky and different and not like the other girls, I've renamed all of the tiers. So, from best to worst, we have bestie, big fan, alright, meh, no thank you, jail, and who. Who meaning I can't remember this character, which hopefully there won't be that many this time. And this is based on purely if I would want to be friends with these people. It's not based on how well they're written or anything like that. This is purely if I was in this game, would I want to hang out with them? So first one is the bouncer from the old mill, I think it's called. I really like him. I really like the interaction that he has with Chloe. So I'm definitely a big fan of him. Then we've got Drew and Mikey's dad, Anthony. I just had to check his name. I did not remember his first name, unfortunately. But we don't really get to see him much, but he seems like a good guy. And I don't know, he's alright, I guess. And then we've got this like really small side character that we don't get to see much called Chloe. I'm going to make that joke in every one of these videos. Obviously, Chloe Price. This is tough because obviously I love Chloe, we all do, that's why I play this game. But I'm not sure if I'd want to be her friend. She can be toxic, especially in this game because she's younger. I feel like I'm going to get hate comments and possibly death threats for this, but I think I'm going to put her in the alright tier. I might move her later. I'm famously indecisive. Then we have Evan. I was so close. I can't remember much about him. I feel like he's a bit of like a hipster boy, and I've had my fair share of those in high school, so I think I'll pass. He can be in the meh category. Then we have James Amber, who, lest we forget, made a deal with Damon to get rid of his child's mother. So I think we can all agree that he deserves to go to jail. Then we have Joyce, who is Joyced. Then we have Joyce, who is straight up to bestie tier, no questions asked. She's good. She's a great mum, and I bet she'd make the best breakfast. Then we have Justin, who I don't really know much about apart from the fact that he's like the resident stoner. And I mean, he seems nice to hang out with. I'll put in alright. Then we have, I want to say his name is Travis, but I genuinely have no idea. His name is Skip. No idea where I got that from. Skip. I don't really have an opinion on him, so you can go into the meh. Then we have Victoria, who is a bitch through and through. I'll put her in no thank you. Like, I know she has she goes through stuff, but we all do, and we don't all turn into mean girl bitches, so. Then we have the principal, Raymond Wells, who has been just disappointing throughout the whole franchise, so you can go in no thank you. Then we have Dana. We all know how I feel about Dana, so she goes in bestie for the very simple reason that I think she's pretty and I would like to just spend an evening gossiping with her in her dorm room. Then we have Drew, who's just a bit of a jock, but I do like the relationship he has with his brother. So he can go in alright, I guess. Then we have Damon. It is Damon, isn't it? Yeah, that is. Yeah, see, Damon and Sheldon look so similar. Damon, jail, fuck you, hate you. Elliot is an incel and he's violent and he deserves to go to jail. Frank, I reckon he's a bit better in Life is Strange than he is in Before the Storm, but I'll still put him in meh. Then we have Hayden, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't really know anything about him, so he can go in meh. Then we have this little weirdo, Max. She can go in the bestie tier. I mean, I know this is like the version of her that's like a kid, but she's still quite sweet in that episode in Farewell, and I recently played that and I don't know, I just really like her character in this. Then we have Mikey, who's a bit of a nerd, and I guess he's just kind of like awkward, so he can go in alright. Because like he's a bit rude to Chloe, if I remember correctly, but I feel like he's just like, yeah, he's just awkward. Then we have the drama teacher. I have not much of an opinion on him. I do like how dramatic he is. I feel like that fits I mean, I know it's probably a stereotype, but it does kind of fit, and I love I love his like tirades that he goes on. He can go in alright. I changed my mind about Chloe. I'm a big fan. Just because she's just entertaining. I think I wouldn't want to be like her best friend, but I'd like to like hear her talk about her crazy stories like at like our weekly catch up or something. Then we have Nathan. He's a lot less bad in this than he is in Life is Strange, but I still would not want him around me in any way, shape or form, so no thank you. Then we have this guy who like I have no idea who he is. Well, I mean, I just looked it up on the wiki. He's the guy who's with Sheldon at the old mill when Chloe spills Sheldon's beer or whatever. He's useless, and because I didn't know who he was until I just looked him up, I'm going to put him in a who category. Then we've got Pompidou, more specifically Pompidou as a puppy, which obviously will go in the bestie tier. Speaking of puppies, I recently went on holiday in the south of France and I met a 6-week-old pug puppy who I will put on the screen right now. Her name was Zoe. She was very sleepy, but her owner very kindly lifted her up for me to take a photo of her, and she was traveling in a baby carrier with her mum pug, who was also very cute, and I felt like I had to mention that because that's generally like that's the youngest puppy I'd ever seen, and it was so cute. Anyway, Pompidou, even though he looks very angry in this photo, he deserves bestie and even more. Then we've got Rachel's mum, her adopted mum, I guess, her non-biological mum, but by all means it's her mum, and I feel for her. She's going through it. I reckon as much as she's kind of like, she seems a bit like stuck up, but she like took Rachel in as her own and seems like a very caring person, so I'll put her in big fan. Then we've got this girl who like supports Nathan and I think has a crush on her, but I don't really have an opinion on her, so I don't even know her name. Samantha Myers, apparently. She can go in the meh. Then we've got Samuel, who I can't remember his like involvement in this game. I feel like he's not particularly like involved. I genuinely can't remember. I have the memory of a goldfish with a concussion, like it's a problem. But he's nice, he's a bit weird, but I'll put him in alright. Then we've got the one and only Rachel Amber. I like her like as a character. Obviously she's very pretty, she has a very like interesting like aura and energy, and even through the game you kind of understand how she's like so popular, but she's also very manipulative, and she like changes her mind, and like her mood changes like on a dime. And I've been friends with people like that in the past, and it was always very toxic. So I don't think I'd want to be friends with her. However, if I went to school with her, I'd probably have a massive crush on her. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's, yeah, definitely. So she can go in big fan. I think that's Nathan's dad, who can fuck off to jail. Because I know this man is one of the reasons why Nathan turned out the way he is. Then we've got Sarah, who's obviously Rachel's biological mum. And at first we get a picture painted by James, which is quite selfish, but then you find out she does want to get in touch with her daughter, and like she's become clean and everything, and so you get a lot more like respect for her towards the end of the game. I think I'll put her in alright. Then we've got Sheldon, who's a piece of shit and can go in the jail tier. Then we have Steph, who's one of my favourite characters of the whole franchise. Obviously mostly in True Colours, because that's where she like shines, but I really liked her in Before the Storm as well, so she goes in bestie tier. I live near a hospital and there's so many sirens. Then we have this man. I don't know who that is. I can't find his name either, so sorry. Then we have William, who you don't really get to see much in this game. He's just in the dream sequences. But, I mean, as always, it's always the dead characters that come across as the best ones. But he does seem like a genuinely like nice dad, so he can go in the bestie tier. And for some reason, there's no David in here. I don't know why. I guess the person who made the list must have missed him. But if I were to put David on here, I would put him in meh, I think. The thing with David is that he's painted as like an annoying dick because you're playing as Chloe, and then in Life is Strange you're playing as Max, who doesn't know him and just sees him through the lens of Chloe, and Chloe doesn't like him because he's controlling and she doesn't want anyone to replace her dad, which I fully understand. So he's painted as an asshole, but obviously you can tell that there's more. He's a traumatized man who's trying to keep his new family safe despite his stepdaughter just hating his guts. So yeah, as much as he's like too old-fashioned for me, I definitely wouldn't agree on certain things with him, but I feel like he could be in the alright tier for sure. Right, so that's our tier list. Bit random. The top tier is a bit weird, but yeah, as always, do let me know what you think. I'll put a link to the tier list in the description so that you can go ahead and do it yourself. Let me know who you'd put in the bestie tier, who you'd put in the jail tier, and everything like that. If you disagree with my takes on some of the characters, do let me know. Thank you so much for your support on my videos, as always. I think I'm going to start a Night in the Woods playthrough next, so that's something to look forward to for the people who asked me to do that. I'm still working on the True Colours iceberg in the background, but I have slowed down on that a bit because I got a bit burnt out, but that will come out at some point, obviously, just not soon. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.